Today, we're going to settle in with a beautiful old folktale from Japan, sometimes called The Crane's Gift. It's one of those timeless stories, you know? It's all about how one simple act of kindness can change everything, but it's also about a big secret and a promise that holds it all together. Let's get into it.
So, our story starts, like all the best ones do, long, long ago. We're introduced to a young man whose life is about to take a turn he could never, ever have seen coming, and it all hinges on a single choice he's about to make.
And really, that's where it all begins, with one simple act of kindness that kicks off this whole incredible series of events. Okay, so picture this. The young man is just out there working on his farm, minding his own business, when out of nowhere, this magnificent white crane just falls out of the sky. It crashes right there in front of him. And as he rushes over, his heart just sinks. He sees an arrow cruelly stuck right through its wing. So what does he do? Well, it really tells you everything you need to know about him. He doesn't even hesitate. He so gently, so carefully pulls that arrow out. Then he cleans the wound, tending to this poor, injured bird. And because of his care, it isn't long before the crane is strong enough to fly again. And as the crane took off, he called out after it, "Be careful to avoid hunters." You know, the crane seemed to get it because it circled over his head 3 times, almost like a thank you, before it flew away for good. It's a small thing, but it shows he wasn't just fixing the problem. He really cared.
Now, you might think that's the end of it, but that act of kindness, it was not forgotten. And it was about to come back to him in a way he could never, ever have predicted. That very same night, he's coming home, and standing at his door is a beautiful woman he's never seen before in his life. And she just says, "Welcome home, I am your wife." I mean, can you imagine? The man is just completely floored. He tries to explain that he's poor, he can't possibly support a wife, but she doesn't seem to care at all. And just like that, his whole life is turned upside down. Before she arrived, he was poor, he was all alone. But now, his life is filled with happiness. He has a wonderful partner. And get this, they have this little sack of rice that somehow magically never ever runs out. That one little act of kindness brought something truly extraordinary into his ordinary life. But, this incredible happiness, it comes with a condition. There's a bit of a mystery woven into their life now. And this is where the story shifts to focus on 2 really powerful things: a secret and the promise made to protect it. So they're living this wonderful life together, and one day his wife makes a rather specific request. She asks him to build a weaving room, a totally private space just for her. And here's the catch. She makes him promise, and I mean really promise, that he will never, ever look inside while she's working. This wasn't just a casual request. This was a true test of his trust in her. And of course, he agrees. So she goes into the room, and for 7 long days and nights, all he can hear is the constant rhythmic sound of the loom. When she finally comes out, she looks exhausted, she's so much thinner, but in her hands, she's holding the most beautiful, incredible cloth he's ever laid eyes on. She tells him to sell it, and sure enough, it fetches a huge price at the market. So with that money, their life gets even better. But when his wife goes back into the weaving room to start again, something starts to change in him. His promise is about to go up against a pretty powerful force: curiosity. He just can't get this one question out of his head. He knows for a fact there was no thread in that room. So how? How in the world is she making this amazing fabric out of thin air? The question just starts to eat away at him, day after day. And finally, he just can't stand it anymore. That promise he made just crumbles under the weight of his curiosity. He breaks his word. He quietly sneaks up to the door of the weaving room, and he peeks inside. And what he sees is, well, it's absolutely shocking. It's not his wife in there. Instead, sitting at the loom is the crane. The very same crane that he saved. And she's weaving by plucking her own beautiful white feathers and using them as thread. That was her secret. That was her gift, and her sacrifice for him. So, this secret is out. And with that reveal, everything is about to change. We're heading into the story's powerful ending and its most important lessons. The crane sees him, and she explains everything, that she was the bird he saved, and she became his wife just to repay his incredible kindness. But because he broke his promise, because he saw her true form, she can't stay with him anymore.
She hands him the piece of cloth she just finished. One last beautiful gift to remember her by. And with that, she transforms back into a crane and flies up into the starry sky, disappearing forever. The man is left standing there, all alone again, clutching the cloth, the warmth of her love now replaced by the cold, heavy feeling of his own broken promise.
So what can we take away from this beautiful and, yeah, kind of bittersweet story? Well, first, that one small act of kindness really can ripple out and make a huge difference. Second, that a promise, it's a special kind of trust, and once you break it, it can be almost impossible to fix. And finally, it's a big reminder to be grateful for the good things we have and not let our curiosity get the better of us. This whole story started with a kind choice and ended because of a broken promise. Two powerful decisions with totally different outcomes. So, I'll leave you with this to think about. What kind of promise, big or small, can you make and keep today?